In this video, we're going to look at setting up Twilio so that you can send instant SMS messages to people as soon as they finish, or at any point during the race, you can send a message to either some or all participants. For example, if you got a participant that the sweeper came in and says there's no one left in the course, but you know they started, you can easily message them saying, hey, let us know we're safe. Or maybe you want to send something before, during, or after the race that reminds participants, all participants to return their tags at the green tent or something like that. So the SMS feature, I feel like it's going to be very popular. And so I wanted to create a how-to video, a step-by-step guide on creating a Twilio account. It's not complicated, but there's a few steps in it. So often I would prefer to watch a video than read through documentation. So that's what we're going to do here. You're going to click on external accounts. If you haven't already, number one, of course, this is only for Endurance members. And so you can go to the SMS tab here and click on Join Now or the Learn More. But once you've joined, the next step for you is, I guess you can click here and then go to the interface guide. And so if you pull that up, then you're going to see the instructions. Number one, we're going to create an Aero Live Result account. That's how I know if you're an Endurance member or not. You don't have to use Aero Live Results website. And now, by the way, as of yesterday, it's been greatly improved when it comes to efficiency, and the states and countries listed in order, um, and so it should be a nice website to use if you did decide to use it. Um, but so you will need to create an Aero Live Result account, and uh, someone may sign up for the endurance program but not create an Aero Live account until days or weeks later. So after you sign up, send me an email or a text or something that lets me know your email address that you use for Aero Live results, and I'll get into Aero and enable it. It only takes a few seconds for me to enable it. So, but anyway, so that's step number one, is creating an Aero Live result account and enabling it, and then so once you've created your account, you're going to enter your Aero Live results credentials in here, and then now you're ready to set up Twilio and use the SMS stuff. So we're going to go ahead and click on Create here to create a Twilio account. I'm going to try to use, I've already created one, so I'm going to try to use a secondary phone number. It's actually tied to an old Google Voice number, which I still have access to. And so we should see messages come across in real time there. And then I'm going to try to use a different email and stuff like that. So we'll see how far we can get using just the free trial of Twilio. We'll eventually create numbers in a second. But let's go and proceed. So we're going to go to create account. Okay. And then, of course, you're going to accept the terms and services. And then we're going to create an account. Okay, so Twilio makes it really easy. First of all, they will have two-factor authentication. So you're going to have to verify your email and then verify your phone number. Verification, we're simply going to hit verify. And then here, we're going to verify our phone number. So I'm going to put in this Google Voice, this old Google Voice number I've got. Okay, and then we're going to verify on that. And we should get a notification over here. And then we'll copy this, plug this into here. Well, did I copy it? Okay, there we go. All right, well, we are ready. So there's a couple more steps here. They're going to ask you some questions. Which products are you here to use? We're just going to use SMS. I don't know that it really matters what you pick here. And then here, what do you plan to use a Twilio? Again, I don't think it matters. I think I did alerts notification just there at the top. So we'll just go and pick that. And then how do you want to build with Twilio today? Let's try it without code. Third-party integration is build something myself. Let's just use something else. Again, I don't think this matters at all, but let's just get started with Twilio. Okay, so by default, they're going to give you $15.50 to send some test messages. And that is plenty, by the way. You can probably send, well, let's just see how many you can send. So, so 15.50, and the average segment is, say one segment is going to cost you this much, so less than a penny each. So we could send 1,900 messages with $15.50. And so as you see, it's a pretty nice there. Now, of course, some messages, depending on the length, it's 180 characters is a message or a segment, and so that's 0.79 of a penny for every segment. And so, but this would be plenty for us to play with. So here in the beginning, we're going to hit next. Just they're trying to teach you how to use their website. That's not a bad thing, of course, so feel free to read through it, but we're going to skip through it now. So, whenever you've created your account, there's a couple things. We're going to track three things. I'd recommend pulling up something like Notepad and then do like account, something like this. And then I'm going to burn this account, of course, when we're done. So you're not really supposed to share this right here, but I'm going to go ahead and copy it, and then paste it here. So all these values you're going to want to put somewhere easy to get. So I hit copy there. And all we need is one more value, and we are ready to roll with testing it in the software. Now, one thing we have to set up though is a messaging service. Now, um, eventually we're going to create an account and upgrade from the trial version to, like, because you're going to use this for, like, I don't know what time I wouldn't want to be able to send text messages. So you're going to want to upgrade. I believe it's free to upgrade, but you simply have to put in like your billing information and like your credit card stuff, and then you have to pre-fund it, right? You have to put like, hey, I want to put $50 in. As you see, $15.50 sends a lot of text messages. So you may want to put like $50 in or 100, and then you can have it to where it auto renews or auto charges once you start running low. So you shouldn't have to worry about constantly coming back in here to refund it. Um, so I'm going to see if I can jump straight to, and I'm not really following the guide here. If I get lost, I'll go back to it. But we're going to jump straight to the messaging services here, because the services are what's going to juggle um, to help prevent your number not being blocked or used, automatically sent to spam by, some of the phone providers out there. You want to create a messaging service, and that's what my software expects. So you have to create one. And what that does is, if you had 2 or 3 phone numbers, which I'm going to recommend you get like 3 phone numbers, it will spread the text messages going out across all those numbers. I think what it looks at is, if you send more than 60 messages in a minute, then that's a flag for the phone providers out there. So what'll happen is you may send, a few from one phone number, and then a few from another, and then a few from another to spread those messages out. And so to the participant, they get the text instantly, because the messaging service is ensuring that everything's queued up in a way that you're safe. And so the messaging service here is here to protect you. It's here to spread the load across. It's here to make things efficient. So you definitely want to create one of these. So. All right, so we're going to go here. And now this friendly name, let's just call this Art, or whatever your company name is, or we call it my service for now. So we're going to create messaging service. So skip. And this is what we need right here. So this is our third number that we need. Let me go and copy that. Yeah, so copy, and then we're going to put this here. So this is what you're going to do to get the numbers you need to plug into the software. So that's the 3 things you need. Now, we're not done in Twilio, because we still have to associate the phone number that we, either the demo one they gave us, or some numbers that we bought with this messaging service. So let's go ahead and proceed. Now, I will say, while I'm here, you may want to look at the integration option here. And so this will let you decide whenever people, let's say that you send a text message out to a user, do you want that user to be able to respond back? And then maybe you want it to go to your personal cell phone. Uh, I'm going to leave that on for now, because what if, here's the thing. If you're doing a good job, and a lot of race directors, of course, are runners too. And so if someone sends me a text back to their results text that they got, and it says, hey, great job, we want to think about hiring you for our 5K or whatever, well, you want to get that text for sure, right? And so in the beginning, I'm going to leave it on. Now, the reason why someone may want to turn it off is because your build with Twilio based on messages going out, but also messages coming in. And so if you have the service set up to where it forwards to your cell phone, well, then of course you're going to get, now it's only, again, less than a penny for each transaction here, but, and I think it's, not going to amount to very much, so I'm going to leave it on. So it's going to be, you send a text out, so that's, 0.079 of a penny, or 0.79 of a penny, and then they respond back. Well, that's another fraction of a penny. But then that forwards the message to your cell phone. Well, then that's another fraction of a penny. So now, the whole round trip, you're looking at it like a penny and a half or something, or 2 cents tops. And so just keep in mind that That's why you may want to turn it off. If you want to turn it off, you can say drop the message, and it says you will not be charged for incoming messages. So any text coming through any of your phone numbers back to this messaging service won't be billed. Or you can say defer to sender's webhook, and we'll look at setting up the forwarding to where it goes to your cell phone. So anyways, this is something else you may want to look at. So I'm going to leave this here. Okay, so we have the messaging service set up. Let's go back now to develop. And let's see, actually, let me click here, I guess. We got to get back to where our phone number is listed. So we're going to go phone numbers. Oh, so whenever we go to phone numbers, I forgot, looks like we have to generate or get a trial phone number. So let's do that. Okay, so they have given us a phone number. Now, again, we'll upgrade this account later, but let's see if now we can go to our active numbers. Great. So now we have a phone number, and yeah, they just gave us some random number from who knows where. That's a odd name. Anyways, eventually you're going to create your own phone number, and you can either do it by origin. Well, when we buy numbers, you'll see it in a second. But for now, let's go ahead and click on this phone number. And so here we can give it a friendly name, which I think only does puts a name on it internally. This is not, I don't believe it's going to come across on a caller ID or something as a different name. So there's a couple things here. You're going to do this for every phone number. You can either leave this the way it is or change the name. I'm going to leave it the way it is for now. You're going to scroll down to where it's got emergency information. And you're going to accept the terms. You only have to do that once, I believe. And then here, you're going to add emergency information. So select from my addresses, and then here you're going to, oh, it looks like we have to add a new one first. So let's go. And you could put this as your company name. Okay. Acknowledge, and then create. Okay, so now we have added uh, that as our emergency information. So now here's the most important thing though, after you do that, is you're going to create or select your My Messaging service, which of course you could have called something else. And so now we are ready to go. I'm going to read through my notes real quick, make sure we didn't miss anything. Now there is a step here I'm going to talk about if you want messages forwarded to your personal cell phone. But let's go ahead and see if we can do a quick test with this. Again, I'm going to skim through this, make sure I didn't leave any steps out. There's a video here that kind of talks about a little bit the steps we've done here. We are still in trial mode, and my goal is to try this first in trial mode to see if I can temporarily enable someone's account on error live results, and then they can create a free Twilio account and then test it out before they actually dive in. So we've done all the steps here, and we'll upgrade our account later. And again, we're only using one phone number, which I wouldn't recommend. I'd recommend getting at least two, maybe three. And I think we're ready to plug it into the software. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up our notepad file and our account SID here, plug that in there. Oops, I think I hit copy again. Let me try that again. Copy, paste, authentication token, copy, paste. And I added these buttons here where you can do view and see the actual data if you wanted to. That's on every one of the external accounts there where you can put a password in. Okay, so we've got all that. So now that we can do the, now one thing I haven't done is I haven't enabled my Arrow Live result account. So this may fail here, but let's go ahead and give this a shot. So I'm going to put in the 870-277-4654. So because I don't know your phone number, I'm having to prompt it up here. And then, so it says sent successfully. Let's go ahead and take a look over here. Yep, and so we are ready to go. So that is what that looks like. Let's go ahead and pull up a sample race. Now first, let me go ahead. I'm going to pause the video while I go enable well, yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll put in my other account that does work. Okay, so I've actually already got it there. So good. So now, by the way, if you put in your credentials and hit test and I haven't enabled your account, I do let you know, hey, your login is successful. Your credentials are successful. Please, let Brian know to enable it. So So yeah, we are good here. So let's go ahead and do a mock race. I'll pull up this screen here so you can see it kind of off on the side here. Maybe you can see that much. And let's go ahead and time the race. And one of the new things, of course, I've made it to where you can easily see phone numbers here, or if you're adding a new participant and you got to type someone's name in, you can pick the one with the phone number if you see 2 or 3 results. Of course, I only show you unique values, but if someone misspelled their name or something's different, you can pick the one with the phone number if you want to be able to text them. And of course, there's a little phone icon here. Um, and I could right click and just select everybody if I want and send all these people a custom SMS. But let's go ahead and jump into timing, like I said. So we're going to drag this over to the right, and then let's be able to see those messages come across. So same here. And and so if I wanted to send a text to all these people, I can highlight all of them, right click and do send SMS. Let's clear these results out. And then I don't have this to where it checks automatically because I don't want someone mistakenly sending text out to people if they're just playing around in the software. So when you go to time erase, actually, you know what? Let's just reset the race back to 0. And then let's go back up the database because it's an old race. And so it says, hey, you're getting rid of results after the race date. So let me back it up for you. Um, let's see here. Let me make this time look a little more realistic. Okay, so let's get some finishers. Again, this screen is kind of all squished because of how I'm doing this, but let's go ahead and I know the bid numbers are 1 through like 150. So here we go. Oh, and I forgot to hit. Now, if you do this during the race and you forget to check the box, you can again highlight all of them and do send SMS. And then here, if we check it off though, we should see the messages coming across. So there we go, the messages. And again, with only one phone number, it's going to kind of just tick, tick, tick. But you see here, now yours will not have this sent from your Twilio trial account. Whenever you actually upgrade your account, you'll see just this information here. And again, you could also add your own custom header or footer. And so you can advertise your business as you time the race, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and put in some more times here, and you'll see those come across. So we got 5th place. Let's see how quick it is. So number 6, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And again, it's even faster with multiple numbers, but there we go. So there's number 6. So before they leave the chute, they should get it. So let's do 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and I also believe that through the trial, it also may be a little slower with this, demo phone number. And so, anyways, there's all the text going out. So yeah, that's essentially how it works and how you hook it all up. So let's look at forwarding the messages to your cell phone, because right now I can reply back here. Let me see if I can make this full screen again. Um, so if I do reply back, it goes to nowhere land. And so because there's no messages being forwarded to my cell phone now. It actually, you could read those messages if you wanted to. Let me go back here. I think you go to monitor, and then you can go to logs and then messages. And Twilio has a lot of nice things where you can see all kinds of graphs about like, how many messages total did you send out this day, how many failed, how many succeeded. And so here we can see this message. Thanks for sending this. Oh, this is the, um, what is this here? Thanks for the message. Configure your numbers. Yeah. So again, with the trial version, I'm not sure what all it's going to show here, but usually you can see the little eye icon where you can mouse over it and it kind of lets you know what it is. But yeah, there's my reply back message. Um, yeah, so there's all the finishers and stuff like that. So, but let's go ahead and look at forwarding this number to your cell phone. So if I go here, and now I'm going to have it set up to where it just forwards back to itself. And so what happens, this is your Twilio phone number. If you want it to forward back to, now when I say forward to yourself, I've got all the participants with this phone number that I'm going to have it forward back to. So, but if I go 277, actually, now by the way, you got to put the country code and everything like it shows. So +1 is United States. Um, 870-277-4654. So this, you'll put your personal cell number in this box right here. And then once you have the phone number, because you may have multiple, you have to do this for each one of the phone numbers. You want to reload this page after each one. Um, I've got 5 phone numbers, so I did this, of course, for each one of them. I only did 5 because I just kept testing, adding a new phone number and stuff like that. I really think 3 is going to be sufficient. So what you do here is just hit deploy application, and this will take a little bit, about 30 seconds or so. And that's doing all the work in the background to link it all up. Okay, so yeah, we are good. Um, so I think all we have to do now is if we come back over here, let's pull back up actually this screen, and if we say response, well, let's just say thanks for doing such a great job today. It's always nice to hear there's a timer, right? Then we should turn right around and get that response back to this same number. So we'll see if that works. I don't know if there's something else we got set up. I believe that's it. So actually, maybe this is the response back. Um, so one way to test that is to turn that off and then send us another message. So once we set up the text forwarding, we should see that it switches here on the bottom where it's got messages coming in. When a message comes in, yeah, it switches it to function. It puts your phone number in. It should just send it right off. And so if I switch this out to like webhooks and then save again, and then I send myself another message, uh, thanks again, then I believe we should not get a response back at all. And so, yeah, so that's what it was. This message here was our response back. So if a participant which received the number, a text from this number, sends you a response back, then you will get it on your phone number. And again, it won't have sent from Twilio trial. It'll have simply from and then their number and then what they sent. And so from here, you can either click on it or you can respond back from your own phone number by by accessing their number here. And so that is how you can turn that on. That's how I'm going to leave it on. So let me go ahead and for this account, turn it back on. So we're going to go back. Sorry, message comes in, function, and then this is the function that was created by that service earlier. And so there we go. So yeah, that is setting up Twilio. I'm going to take a quick look through my notes just to make sure I didn't leave anything important out. Or did I close? I guess I closed that out. So, but we know it's functioning. Well, I guess one thing that we could do is go ahead and buy some phone numbers. Let me show you that process. So you're going to upgrade your account, and here it's going to ask you to put in your information so they know what country you're from and location and all that stuff. So let me go ahead and do that. Come on, 7244. Continue. No, I am not exempt. Continue. Here you're gonna fund your account. Again, we can put 50. I think I did 250 just so I don't have to worry about it. I'm not, there's not a worry about someone getting in here and doing anything that caused it to dwindle down. I think I had some customers use the texting service, and this is even before I had changed the code to take away as many characters as possible, but still look good. And there, so each message they were sending out was like 3 segments. And even with that, and I don't remember how many people they had in the race, but the total cost was like maybe $8. And so now that is, and of course now that it's down to 1 segment per message. Typically, unless you add a whole bunch of stuff in the header or footer, it should just be 1 message for every result sent out, or 1 segment. Then my guess is it's going to cost you $2 or $3 to go through, 100 or we can do the math on it to figure it out. In fact, I've got a calculator built in. Um, so let's show you here. If I were to go to send message text, and then let's say I pick this race here, and then let's say that I typed thanks for coming, something that's under um, something that's under 160 characters, then this shows you that based on the number of characters entered, the estimated cost per text is going to be this. And then based on all the participants you've got selected, which is 155, it's going to cost you $1.22 to send this message. And so that's 155 texts going out, $1.20. So it gives you a clue. So if you were to leave this feature on and all you didn't text anybody, any special instructions or anything else, it's going to cost you $1.22 per um, for everyone to get a text. So anyway, so as you can see, you can do $50 probably and be fine for many races. But so whatever dollar amount you're going to put it here, because this is a trial account, I'm just going to do $5 for now because I'm going to throw this account away. Um, well, so here I'm going to pick yes. I want to auto fund it, and then I think actually I'm going to auto fund it. Maybe when it gets down to $5, and so maybe I'll just tell it to start at $25. That sounds a little more reasonable. Um, Oh, so I got intermap between that and that. So let's do 10. And I just saw this too, so you got to do at least $20. And then brings my balance back up to, let's say 25. So typically when I have a little higher amount there, $10 is fine here. Because again, even with $10, you'll get a lot of messages in before it would go to zero. Let's see here. And let's do continue. And then here's where you put your credit card information in and all that stuff. I'm not going to do that now, but once you've done that, then this part of this process is done. And so the last thing you'd have to do is go over to phone numbers and do buy a phone number. And then here you can pick the either to start like a certain area code 870 and then search. And this will show all 870 numbers. Or even better, well, what I did anyways, I don't want to say better, but what I did is I just went like Jonesboro and then I did search. And this will show all Jonesboro numbers if that matters to you to have it particular to where your actual city. I mean, the charging doesn't matter anymore. The participants can't really see it anymore. I don't think where where it shows us from, but I went ahead and did all Jonesboro numbers, or I think I did. So, anyways, that is the last part. Now, once you well, I say that once you create a number, you'll want to go back in for each number and do like we did before, where you go to manage active numbers. These will be the numbers you purchased, and then you'll click on the number and then you have to do the emergency information where it's got, put in the emergency address. I guess if 911 was called, they need to know where to go. And then down here, make sure to pick the messaging service. And then, like I mentioned before, if you wanted the phone number to where it forwards you to your cell number, then you're going to come in here and do this process here, where you pick your messaging service, pick your phone number, that the Twilio phone number, and then type your personal cell number into there. Remember to leave on the country code and the area code. And so that is the process. I know it's kind of jumping around. Like I said, it's been a few weeks since I've done it, but that gets it going as you saw. And so I hope this video is helpful for you, and look forward to y'all using this feature.